Nam yo ho ninge ko 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 nam yo ho ninge.
Hi, I'm Margaret, and this is the website where we use Buddhist philosophy and practice to deal with the concerns and issues of everyday life. So today, our topic is, do you know how to use troubles to nourish your growth? Our lives are planted in the murky pond of everyday life, just like a lotus flower grows in dirty, murky, swampy water. Now think about it. If the lotus flower was moved out into a clean pond, where would it get the nourishment it needs to grow? It wouldn't be able to bloom, would it? Like that, the murky pond of everyday life is where we find our nourishment to grow through the troubles and challenges that come up. So whether we like it or not, opposition is important for our growth. Many people complain about their situation, about their circumstance, about their problems, and about the people they see as causing the problem. Maybe those folks aren't behaving the way they want them to, or not doing what they want. Some, in response, will just walk out of the situation, thus leaving the pond. They don't realize that when they leave the situation, they're also abandoning their own human revolution. They've made the decision to remain the same rather than to grow. They don't recognize that they need opposition in order to grow. And Daisaku Ikeda says this clearly. Without opposition, there is no growth for today and tomorrow, 276. Opposition works for our growth very much like the liftoff for an airplane. If the plane didn't have the rushing air under its wings, it couldn't take off. Like that, we need the rushing air of obstacles and opposition to strengthen us. Opposition allows us to bring out that inner wisdom and forge an undefeated mind. The same principle works when we lift weights. The opposition of the weights strengthens our muscles. As Ikeda says, nothing can match the strength of those whose lives have been shaped and forged through challenging and overcoming hardships. Such people fear nothing. The purpose of our Buddhist practice is to develop such strength and fortitude, again, for today and tomorrow. So, what do you need to learn out of whatever circumstance it is? Some people complain about the other person without ever looking at what themselves might need to learn through their challenge. When we just complain and don't look at ourselves, we're not following the Buddhist way. One of the primary concepts in Buddhism is oneness of self and environment. This means our life circumstances are created from the inside out. We are always connected to the life circumstance we find ourselves in, whether we want to admit it or not. Many people resent the mud, the circumstance. But when you come to realize that it's because of that circumstance, which is exactly what you've needed to do your human revolution, then you can stop resenting the mud. When you can come to regard all the challenges in your life, whether positive or difficult, as opportunities to help you grow, then through chanting, you'll always find a way to use them for your human revolution. Then your obstacles and problems become stepping stones, leading you to enlightenment. Satori Izumi, guidance counselor in Japan, would say, don't run away and climb out of the pond, thus abandoning your human revolution. Instead, stay in the pond. It's in the dirty, murky water where you will learn the lessons of your human revolution. Your attempts to solve the problem can't just be focused on the outward situation either. That's just the effect of the cause, which has been laid. So here you can learn. In front of the Gohanzen, chant sincere daimoku and be open to what you need to learn through the situation. Here's an experience. Mindy was angry with a leader in the organization. She grumbled and was critical. The leader, let's call her Sally, had no organizing skills, and Mindy was a born organizer. A big meeting was coming up in a few days, and Sally had barely done anything. Mindy debated with herself whether to just let the leader fail, in other words, leave the pond, or to help her with her own organizing skills. At this point, Mindy was still looking outside of herself and blaming Sally. She hadn't yet sat down in front of her Gehanzen and really chanted about the situation. One of her good friends in the organization suggested that this might be a situation for Mindy to work on her own human revolution. Gritting her teeth, she sat down to chant about the coming meeting. She rapidly realized that if she didn't support Sally, she was letting down everyone. Mindy resolved to use her organizing skills to help make the meeting a success. She and Sally became closer due to Mindy's support. One day, Sally confided in Mindy that she had almost paralyzing anxiety about calling people on the phone. This had been a lifelong problem. When Mindy realized the challenge this meeting had represented for the leader, her heart opened and she had compassion for the challenges Sally had faced. Mindy hadn't needed to learn how to organize, but she did need to develop her compassion and let go of her criticalness. Sally needed to learn to master her fear and learn to reach out. Everyone involved in that situation had needed to learn different things. So here are some steps in using the practice to resolve difficulties. First, stay in the pond, no matter how much you resent the situation you're in and want to walk out. 2, remind yourself this obstacle, this situation provides an opportunity for your human revolution. Like it or not. 3, chant Daimoku. Be willing to look at yourself and discover what you need to learn. Remember, when you change, the situation will shift. 4, resolve to turn this poison into medicine. And 5, make good causes. Participate in activities to help others. In summary, today we discussed the fact that enlightenment grows through taking on the challenges we find in everyday life. When faced with a different circumstance, do we walk out, thereby abandoning our own human revolution, or do we use it to grow? Then we examined an experience where one person was tempted to walk out but stayed, thereby expanding her own life. And finally, we discussed the steps in using the practice to resolve difficulties. So here are some related URLs. Number 1, do you know why you should be grateful for adversity? Number 2, why chanting is not magic. 3, did you know that there are 10 internal hindrances to Buddhist practice? Keep your comments coming. You know I always love to hear from you. And I'll see you in 2 weeks on Thanksgiving.